What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. Come on in, come on in. You guys, we just saw the premiere, the second half of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I want to make sure that we talk about it. It was interesting, to say the least. Come on in, and while you come in, please hit the like button. There's 86 of you in here, 29 likes, so please hit the like button. And of course, if you guys can hear the sound of my voice, let me know by putting your city in the chat. Okay, hey, Linda Gamble, what's up? Anybody that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, they are here to make sure that you guys have a good time in the chat. Those are our moderators. Anyone that you see with a star behind their name, those are those are the ones that support the channel. Excuse me. They support the channel, so you can do that too if you'd like. I'm going to put a link up in just a second. But here we go. I see everybody coming in. I see the Chi-Town, Chicago, Chi-Town again, Milford, Delaware, Louisiana, North Carolina, Huntsville. What's up, Huntsville? Decatur, Georgia. Let's see, Indianapolis. What's up? Charlotte, North Carolina, Huntsville, and Alabama. What is up? I like to see Huntsville in the house because everyone says that Huntsville don't watch, but Huntsville absolutely watches. When you come over to my page, hey, what's up, Texas, New York City, Shreveport, Louisiana, Milwaukee, look like Oklahoma City, New York City again. What's up? What's up? Thank you guys. Y'all know I love to see where you are coming from. It really makes me happy to see that you are joining from all over, okay? St. Louis is in the house, Shreveport, Ellenwood, Omaha, Nebraska. What is up, Nebraska? Flint, Michigan, Douglasville, Georgia. What's up? Hey, you. South Carolina, Queens, New York, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Keep hitting the like button on your way in, please and thank you. Queens, what's up, Queens? Okay, Barbados, what's going on, Barbados? Arlington, Texas, Lansing, Michigan, what is up? I believe that's pronounced Muscat, Florida. I have not heard of that before, but welcome to the page. Long Beach, California, what is up? Okay, guys, let's get it cracking, okay? Let me put this screen down real quick. Let me make sure I can see my comments. Keep hitting the like button on your way in. That is how others find me here in the YouTube streets, and that's very important for me. So if you're watching, you don't always have to talk, but the chat is cool. The chat is crunk. I see Ty. She said she's on her way home. Welcome, Ty. Glad to see you back. Welcome, all of you, for joining me tonight. We're going to talk about what happened on this show, okay? Starting with the doggone title, okay? Innocent Until Proven KeKe was the title of the episode. So it was all about KeKe. Literally every single body talked about KeKe and what she had going on. I do want to say she has not been arrested for anything. And I don't know when this was taped. I guess back in June, July, sometime around there. She has not been arrested for anything. And also, at the end of the episode, they did put up a disclaimer saying exactly that. Even though we all talked about it during this episode, and we're going to talk about it right here, she has not been arrested, and KeKe herself has said that it's a legal issue. So I do want to just put that out there. This is all for entertainment. Let me go ahead and put this ticker up too. Let's put the ticker up. This discussion is about reality TV and pop culture. Okay, this is for entertainment. This is all opinion and alleged. We're just talking about what we see, the same way we would talk to our girlfriends or family or whomever at home, at our dinner table, or on our couches. This is what we're doing here too, okay? So this is not intended to hurt anybody at all, at all. Okay, so just want to put that out there. And it has been months. It has been months since that Crime Stoppers video has come out, and she has not been arrested for anything. So I do just want to put that out there as well. And I'm reading your comments. I appreciate everybody for getting that information out there. So let's do what it do. We're going to get these photos up. And we're going to talk about the episode. And then, of course, you guys, I am going to let you guys up. Okay. So I think one of my mods should have the link for membership. Going ahead and put that up there if she is up there. Nola, darling. Hey, Nola, darling. Welcome to the channel. And then I'm going to invite you guys up to talk about everything. Of course, 205, 218 of you are watching right now, 108 likes. So keep hitting the like button, please, and thank you until you run up the same amount of numbers that are watching me. Okay, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's see. And let me get my invite link up as well. Okay. Just want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence for everything. Let me put this camera on for a second, and then we're going to get crack-a-lacking. Okay, join the panel. I'm going to put the link up in a little bit, and then we can talk about all of it. All of it, okay? This better work. Make sure I do this right again. V. I know sometimes you guys tell me that these links don't work. They seem to break for some reason. So let me copy it one more time just to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong. Okay. To join the panel, hit the like. Thank y'all for being patient with me. It is a task to get this thing up here. Okay, Command V. All right, hopefully that works. Anywho, so let's get it started. We are going to discuss. First off, I want to ask how many people watched. So let's start there because, child, sometimes y'all don't talk about it. And I'm like, well, what did you watch? So yes, let me put this up here. If you watched the show, the episode for tonight, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you did not watch the show, put a 4 in the chat so I can see how many people, watch the show. And then I'm gonna give you guys this brief review and then we're going to get it crunk. Okay. So, okay, we got a bunch of 1s. I did. Hey, Megan. Okay. Nola, darling, 1. We got a few 4s so far. Okay. Few 4s. Okay. We have more 1s than 4s at the moment. So I will say this about this season so far, the first episode for the mid-season. Number 1, it presented different than it did the last half. I felt like there was more effort into making it more cohesive, and everybody seemed to bring more energy to the scenes for me. Okay, I actually liked it. I will give it out of 10, I rate it about an 8. And I'm only giving it an 8. It would probably be much higher, but I'm giving it an 8. Let me move out of the way of that picture because a lot of it we had already seen in the previews. So I'm giving it an 8 because of that. And I really shouldn't be beating it up for that, but we got to hear a lot of the confessional conversations. Those were new for us, and I have to say I respected it. I respected everyone's confessionals. I really just, again, it felt like they were giving us different energy, and I really felt like it was honest conversation. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's fake, it's fake. At the end of the day, these people have to come into a room where there's cameras and all kinds of things. They make them tape, they edit, they make them tape again. And there are, conversations around what's really, truly happening. And what we saw in this first episode, I thought rocked. So I'll say that. A lot of people are saying that they agree. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. I love it when we're on the same page. Okay, so Melody ends up visiting Miss Tiffany and her little baby for the very first time. Tiffany said she hadn't had any visitors. No one had saw little baby Ace yet. Let me see. And I'm going to go back and watch it again. I just want to get on live with y'all. But she went to visit Tiffany and the baby, and they jumped right into the conversation. Okay, we already know that Tiffany and KeKe seem to have some real off-screen beef, right? They've talked about each other when they did their interviews with Carlos King, and Melody sat in front of her, and Melody was like, kind of like, Where are you coming from right now? But at the same time, Melody has to also know that that Kiki and Tiffany don't rock with each other at the moment, right? And Melody was giving us all kinds of faces. It was priceless. Okay. She was like, girl, 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 like, come on. But Tiffany got right down to it. She said, I saw the Crime Stoppers video. And I was shocked. I was appalled. The way they actually worded it was a concern for me, saying that she used her child to take items out of the store. She talked about the way the car drove out of the parking lot. You name it, she said it. And she was like, listen, is this going to affect our brands? Because her name is now associated to all of us. And then she said, she kind of put it back in Melody's lap. Like, these are some of the things that you've said in the past about, information affecting the brand. This affects the brand as well. So, what are your thoughts? What are your concerns? She's asking Melody to talk about it. Melody said, listen, she wasn't arrested, and TV can make things look a lot of ways. So, calm down, basically. Okay. Calm down. And then she said, at the end of the day, she wasn't arrested for anything. So you don't know the full story. You're asking me for things. I don't have the full story. I'm not going to indulge you in gossiping about Kiki in this camera moment. But in confessional, Melody said, listen, Tiffany has a problem or concern about her brand. And if she doesn't want to, hang with Kiki, that's her right to do. That's what she should do. However, for me, um, I don't have the full story, and I'm not just gonna throw her under the bus like that. So kudos to Mel for doing that. I thought it was pretty cool. Y'all can let me know what y'all think when I drop the link. But yeah, I thought it was a cool thing to say. And literally, this is how people talk. That was the thing that I appreciated most, because I was like, this is how people talk. You gonna have that one person that don't fool with somebody or don't like somebody, and they are going to know that you do, and they're going to sit in front of you and try to get your opinion on it. That's how people talk. So I was cool with it. Mel pretty much told Tiffany to stop the nonsense. Cool. Mel was cool as a fan. She sure did. She was like, not today. Okay. I appreciated that. Simone said, Tiffany, the queen of messy all seasons. And she has been here, and I'm glad this season they will focus on her marriage and show us the real tea with her and Big Lou. I'm happy that people are giving her a chance uh, to focus on her a little bit, because literally people weren't interested in Tiffany and Lewis. So they didn't really give her a fair chance. But I think that I'm liking Tiffany, even though people are saying she's messy. I think she's bringing what needs to be brought for the show, because again, a lot of those relationships were really, they weren't talking to each other. So we do need that one person who's going to bring these people together for conversation. So the constant in this particular episode was, number one, Kiki. Everybody had a discussion about it. And then number two, Tiffany's baby shower, or I think it's her, maybe the sip and see, because she said that nobody had a chance to see the baby yet. So that was the constant that everybody talked about, when they had their scene. And I like the scene. I like the scene between Melody and Tiffany. I thought it was real. It felt good to me. I like the conversation. I like what Melody had to say off screen. And I like what Tiffany had to say off screen as well. At the end of the day, we don't have to like each other. You don't have to like each other on the show either. Tell your feelings, let them be what they be. That's what reality TV is about. Mildred said, why don't Tiffany mind her business? 6 months to mind her own business and 6 months to stay out of other people's business. Okay, perfect. Carolyn, hey Carolyn, she said Tiffany does her job and I ain't mad at her. Okay, I like Tiffany and Big Lou, period, in all caps. I feel the same, girl. I've always liked Tiffany. I've always kind of rode for Tiffany. Even when people were like dogging her, I was like, Tiffany's the stuff. I don't know what y'all talking about. I liked her. Anyway, that is basically how that scene ends. We're going to go to this next scene. Let me get you the next picture up. Okay. I took time to take all these photos, so you're going to get them. I just have to find them on my screen. Okay. Let's see. We did. I think it was Courtney and Marceau, right? For sure. Courtney and Marceau got the next scene up, baby. I like this scene too. Okay, again, we saw a lot of it in the in our previews. However, there were some things that we didn't get to see. We didn't get to see all of it, but he basically sits down with Marceau. He, me, and Courtney sits down with Marceau, and they kind of rehash what happened at the expo. Y'all remember Marceau went over to Stormy and said, "Hey, Stormy, you got that $100?" And she was like, "You didn't tell me anything about $100 prior to today. And also, why are you coming at me now when I have all kinds of things going on at my warehouse? I could be back there doing my job. You guys asked me to come participate. I'm really, truly showing up for y'all who, didn't have anything organized or set up straight. And now you hit me for $100. This don't feel right, bruh. Mm. What's really going on. And come to find out later, there's a whole bunch of people going to talk about it, including Kimmy. They didn't charge everybody $100. They made that a last minute decision once they got to the expo because they had way more people there at the venue than they expected. And then they decided to just come to certain people, which that's going to put a bad taste in anybody's mouth, correct? But Courtney sat there and he, stepped to him. He was like, "Yo, uh, you didn't have to come to my wife like that. You didn't have to come to her the way you did. You should have let your wife discuss it. You always in the women's business." That's how he said it. And then Marceau said, "Listen, uh your wife don't need that kind of protection from me." Okay, he was like, what's going on here? Tisha can handle her own business and affairs. What's up with you?" He also said, "Aren't you a millionaire? Is $100 crushing you like that? What the hell is going on?" So Marcel was punching back. And he also said, you ain't coming for me with no women's business nonsense. Because listen, my business was the expo. My business was to address anything and everything that happened in that building with all of those vendors at each one of those booths. You, however, sir, you work in women's hair care. Isn't that women's business? So Marcel tried to come right back at him. Now, Courtney was sitting there listening, and you could tell that Courtney was not for the shit. He was not playing at some point. I showed y'all before because I had that little fist balled up, but he had his fist balled up on the tabletop. God, it was everything. I really wanted to laugh. And then when Courtney was done with him, he got up and said, "Yo, I'm gonna give your waitress $100 for this water." And then he counted out them 20s. Marcel thought he was being funny. He was like, "That's only 60, 80. Okay, 100." And baby, she picked up every damn one of them 20s and stuck it in her pocket. I hope she bought herself something nice, okay? But anyway, that's how the scene ends. I want to know what you guys feel about this. Val said that Kimmy was fine with paying Stormy, with Stormy having to pay the $100 fee until she found out that Marceau also, or that they also paid the fee. Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna talk to you guys about that too. Let's see. Simone said, "Now who does that charging after the fact?" Scanners, as Wander says. Okay, child, it was a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, 434 of you are watching this right now. Going ahead and hit the like button. This less than half of y'all didn't hit that like button, so going ahead and get them numbers up. Okay. Red said, "I absolutely loved that scene. I'm telling you, they came with it. They came with it. Everything about it was absolutely the way it would have played out in 100% real life. I don't care if they all cool now, but when your husband come to tell a man, 'Listen, this is how shit's gonna happen,' that's real. Even him taking that money out, and he lucky he didn't put another 200 on it and said, 'Just for that.'" Okay. But yeah, Bliss said, "No play." Courtney, facts, did not play. He did not play. I love the banter. I did too, sis. Listen, at the end of the day, they gave in this scene. But this is basically how it ended. For me, I didn't feel like either one of them was like punking the other. They was letting each other know this is where I stand. But Marceau said, because Courtney said, "You owe my wife an apology is owed here." And Marceau said, "I agree. And anytime your wife would like to come to me and give it, I'm open. Okay. He said, I know that your wife put 20 on 10 when she told you that story because I didn't do anything. That's how Marceau said it, but I thought that was a great scene. Loved it. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, y'all talk to me. Y'all holding on to these scenes. Let's get to the next picture. Picture number 3 happened to have been Kimmy. She visited Tisha. So let me get Kimmy's photo up here. Kimmy visited Tisha. Here we go. So Kimmy visits Tisha at Tisha's apartment. Okay. Let's see. It was a very good show. Yep. Kimmy visits Tisha at her apartment. You know, Tisha was getting their home renovated. And she was letting her know, we still in here packed like sardines. However, and she said, I don't know when things are going to get done. Kimmy was like, you don't even have a timeline for anything. She said, absolutely not. However, it's getting done. It is what it is. Miss Kimmy lets everybody know that she is finished with all of her treatment, and she's feeling still tired and her energy's down. However, all of her treatment is done and she is ready for the next phase of her life. She's ready to celebrate, enjoy. And then they get into the discussion that was had last season. Y'all remember, I believe it was almost the last scene, where Tiffany lets Tisha know, why didn't y'all invite me? I really feel like y'all left me out on purpose. I, I mean, you've talked to me several times. Why didn't you say you wanted me to participate? Everybody in this cast has participated with you in this expo, and you didn't include me at all. These two end up making jokes about Tiffany. Tisha said, basically, I don't even know what you do. I still don't know what you do to this day. And so we didn't invite you. That's one of the reasons we didn't invite you, because we don't know what you do. Kimmy said, you can pay me $1,000. You can pay me $1,000. I still couldn't tell you what she does, which is interesting. Why doesn't anyone know what Tiffany does? As far as I understood it, she makes proposals to medication companies, health companies, who does case studies or human test studies. And she says, listen, you have a medication that you are testing, and you need to bring more diversity into this test study. We need some Black people, some Latinos, whomever, because sometimes it is only a white pool, and those medications could be completely different in another group of people. And that's what she does, as far as I understand it. So she helps bring diversity to that type of testing, medical testing, and things like that, which is great. Okay. But yeah, they made these jokes about not knowing what Tiffany does. If you guys are listening, I hope you hear this, because that is a pretty big deal. And Tiffany said that she is one of a few, if any, in this field that is bringing Black people to the table, which is significant. That is so significant. Out of all of their works, Tiffany does a lot of important work, I think. But anywho, they made their little jokes about it. And they also talked about Stormy. Tisha said, I don't ever have to deal with this group of women right now. I need a break from them because this was some bullshit, how she came at me. Number one, Stormy is not in the comeback group. Number two, she didn't even contribute to anything. So what is with all the criticism? She felt like, Stormy came at her wrong. That's basically how it played out. At the end, they discuss the Crime Stopper video with Kiki, because, like I said, everybody discusses it, okay, for the most part. But Tisha implied, you guys, Tisha said, listen, when she first saw the video, she said, I hope she's not back on pills. And then she said, whatever company she was keeping, she said that her company said, well, uh, dealers sometimes will ask for certain things in, exchange for. So it's possible she went to Home Depot to pick up a certain things for some dealers. And I was like, oh, Tisha, that's some hard shit to say about your cousin on television. But it happened, okay? She said it, and then Kimmy had a KeKe about it, and she said, listen, I hope she ain't asking Maurice for no advice, because that's not the type of law that he does, okay? And that is how that scene ends, y'all. That was pretty wild. Unique said, Unique Monique said Kimmy is a nurse and she should understand Tiffany's job easily. I would think so. I don't know why they keep dogging Tiffany about her job and not understanding what she does. I think it's just right now, just like a cast joke to some degree. However, it was funny because I was like, y'all know that she has really important stuff that she has going on. She basically said that she has carved a niche for herself that nobody else does. I thought she explained it well. But they said no, she did not. Well, let's see what else. And then Viber Thanks said nobody knows what Maurice does either. Okay. Cat P said the scene was very shady. Again, it was shady, child, but if we know that these cousins don't get along, it should not be surprising that it's shady. That's why I was like, ooh, this is a real show right now because of how low sometimes people can knock. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see what else y'all saying. Uh, let's see. Kiki should have dragged Tisha into next week a long time ago. Okay, child. Well, we're about to see. They gave us those upcoming scenes, so we know it's about to get tough for Tisha and for her cousin Kiki, right? So let's get to the next scene. Chris and Martel, baby. Woo! That was also a great scene. It was great. I loved every single moment of it from the time Chris knocked on the door and Martel said, take off your shoes. And he said, take off my what? And he almost pushed him by the shoulder and said, get the hell out my way. Okay. Uh-oh. Look, Ty said Tisha and Kimmy scene was whack as F. Okay. Okay, Ty. Listen, I like the scene, but Ty said she was not feeling it. I appreciate the blessing to the channel all the same. Thank you, Miss Ty. I know you're gonna have some things to say in a few minutes when I drop the link. But yeah, Chris had to push Martel out the way, like, get the hell out my face with this take your shoes off mess. Martel said, you don't got no booties or nothing you can put on, as you know, you sell homes. Like, booty should be in your truck or in your car. He said, I'm not taking off my shoes and I don't have no damn booties. Now beat it. Okay. I'm keeping on my red bottoms and you gonna deal. Okay. You need to be up out this month anyway. Stop worrying about the floor. Okay. That's what I took. But anyway, he basically comes in and, Chris says right away, he said that he was pretty pissed that Martel had put him in a situation where he had to testify. He was subpoenaed to testify for him. He said, I am friends with both of them, and I really hate that he put me in a position where Melody, well, he didn't say this is what I'm adding to it, but he's saying, I'm hating that you would put me in a position where Melody would question, your ex would question our friendship. Okay, because I am friends with both of you, and I appreciated that scene too. I love that scene. In fact, if you have been friends with anybody who is going through divorce, you know when those two people split, how they can tug at you a little bit. And it is heartbreaking for the person that's in the middle. I have been in that situation more than once. And I have to say, I just like the scene. I just like the way it played out, all the way to going to court. I have been in that situation. So when he said that shit on camera, I was like, you tell him, Chris. Even when Chris had the conversation with Melody, y'all remember last season or the first half of the season, when he said, listen, he said, I told the truth. And Melody said, you did. You told the truth. Because, basically whatever Martel wanted him to say, he didn't say. But in Martel's confessional, or maybe it wasn't a confessional, maybe he said this directly to Chris. He said, I told you to just say what was true. I didn't want you to say anything for me or against me. However, last season, he didn't say that, right? Last season, he made it seem like his mama failed him and the Fletchers failed him. That's how he presented, in my opinion. If y'all remember something different, y'all can tell me when y'all come up, okay? Thank you, Review Hour, for blessing the channel and becoming a member. You rock, girl. Thank you so much. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Anywho, he sat down with him and he let him know, you got to get up out of this house. He said, this house went on sale 8 months ago. We knew you knew this house was going on sale 8 months ago. In fact, you were giving a month-to-month lease when this house went up. Okay, now it is under contract and you gotta go. And Martel tried to make him feel guilty. He said, "You gonna throw me and my kids out? Don't, can't you do X, Y, Z? Can't you let them know that I need 90 days?" He basically was like, "You're my friend. This is what you should, this is what you're supposed to be doing." And Chris said, "Are you out of your goddamn mind? Like, we're not responsible for this. I'm not responsible for this. I'm responsible to the seller. You've already been sitting in this house longer than you were supposed to. You had 8 months to find a place. And now all of a sudden you want me to figure things out for you?" He said, "You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to pack everything up in this mofo and get it going." And he said that Martel was taking advantage of his friendship by putting him in this situation and making it his fault that he hasn't done what he needed to do. Okay. Martel was a slime bucket for this one. Shirley Ann said 2 weeks past his time to move. For sure. He said that when we told you before to get the hell out, that's when you should have started looking. But you let it get to the last hour. Okay. And now when I am coming to you and telling you these people want their house, this house is under contract. There's people who put money down. They need to be inside of the home they own. And Martel knows this. There is a transfer of utilities and all of those things that happen at the closing date. And you want to be in these people's house. You do real estate too, sir. You know better. So yeah, I just thought that that was an interesting thing. And I thought it was, Martel should even want to present like that, but he doesn't give a damn. Okay. Martel does not care. But let's see what you guys are saying. I'm glad that, what you say? I'm glad Chris Fletcher said what he said. For sure. Chris was not playing. You could almost see that, like, the words running through Chris's mind, like, why do I deal with this mofo? You know what I'm saying? You could see him thinking it and trying to figure out how to let it out in a way that, still made him look like a professional. But yeah, I was like, Chris is done with you. I think Chris be cussing Martel out on a regular damn basis. It was the same face he made when Melody had thrown that glass at their house. And Chris went to the car with Martel because that's what the producers told him to do. And Martel was sitting there complaining, and Chris was standing there looking off at the sky like, I just want you to pull the out of my house. I just want you to pull out of my driveway right now. That's the same look I got from Chris in this scene. Okay. Yes. Taking the friendship for granted. Martel is just sad for sure. For sure. But yeah, that was a great scene. I loved it. I'm telling you, if they keep it up, this is going to be their best season yet. They said that they were number one. Hopefully, they can continue to pull this out and still be number one. Now, let's talk Kimmy and Maurice, child. Let's see. Kimmy and Maurice. Where are you, Kimmy? In my photos. Here we go. Kimmy and Maurice. Woo, this was a doozy. Let's see. I'm still looking at y'all stuff about Martel. Martel is taking advantage of the situation. Chris was saying, Hotel, you put your own self in this situation. Martel never gave Melody 90 days. Woo, speak on it. Speak on it. D said, talking about where he and his kids are. Right. He said, where are me and my kids going to go? I need 90 days to leave. 90 days on a house that he knew was up for sale 8 months ago. And he was put on a month-to-month leasing contract where he knew, a renting contract, which I know it said in bold print, when this house is up for sale, your ass is gone. So he just, he did take advantage of Chris's friendship, period, point blank. Okay. But let's talk about Kimmy and Maurice. So they are riding electric bikes in the park. Kimmy said that she needed to do this to get her energy back up. This is something that her doctor told her to do. And they stop. They start talking about, everything. Kimmy's telling Maurice about, what happened with Marceau. She basically said that Marceau was being coy about the money. Okay. She said he didn't start charging people until later in the event when they were at the venue. In the meantime, her husband Maurice is like, everybody needed to pay, including Stormy. Why is she bitching about it? She needed to pay because we paid. Now all of a sudden, Kimmy, who was supporting Tisha when she was at the house with Tisha, saying, "Yeah, why was Stormy being so upset and aggressive?" And I was shocked. Now she's telling Maurice, "Why did you pay him $100? Why? He made us pay after the he didn't collect from anybody that was walking in the door until after the fact, and then it was only a few people." So she let her husband know, "Your brother's doing something sneaky with the money." At least that's what she's implying. Okay. And then all of a sudden, Maurice decided to get a little hoity toity about it. But Kimmy was fine until they had to pay. That's what it felt like. That's how it was. That scene was cut to me. Kimmy was laughing, joking, acting like it wasn't a big deal until she found out they paid. For whatever reason, I guess she thought they were off the hook. Again, it was done wrong. Okay. But then she gets into a conversation about how she's trying to get her sex drive up, and she was going to go on to the little sex store and buy a little toy and see if it can help her and Maurice be better. Maurice tells her right off the bat, "Kimmy, it's all in your mind. Like, it's all in your head. You're sitting here faking it. So if you can fake it, keep faking it. I just know that I'm not being satisfied right now." Even though it sounded like Kimmy was saying to him, "Listen, I'm trying to meet you where you at, but it's going to take me some time." Kimmy said, "Listen, it's not my fault. Stop blaming me. It's not that I just don't want to be with you or whatever. It's that the medication has literally lowered my libido." And this jackass said, "Have you been doing research on what you could do to make it better?" As if she didn't just tell you a few minutes ago that she needed to get her exercise up, which y'all were doing, and that she was going to go to the store and buy some things to help her get her energy up. But Maurice looked at she tells him it's going to be about a year. She said it could be as long as a year, maybe longer, but she's doing what she knows to do. And he tells her basically it's not enough, and that she could be doing more as far as he's concerned. Then they get back on the bikes. Kimmy's just says, "You're not helping." And she says something like, "If you keep it up, you won't get any ass at all, whether I'm faking it or not." But that's how the scene ends. This is their relationship. That's clearly what it is. Let's see. Carolyn said, "I'm about to scream. I just can't take these two anymore." The entire time this scene was going down, I just remember Melody making the comment before they even showed up on screen. This was a conversation that Kimmy and Maurice always had. He wanted more sex. She was like, "I'm tired." Okay. She said that was a real conversation they always had. Now they're really just bringing it to the screen. So kudos for them for keeping it, I guess, honest in regards to what their storyline is. Right now, they've let the rest of the world in, and we're tired. We're tired. Nobody likes Maurice enough. They don't feel like you should be doing anything except looking for a lawyer at this point, because he just doesn't seem like he is being compassionate enough. I don't know why Maurice would want to present himself like that, but he does. Let's see. Dean said, "I guess Maurice will be spending more time with that fake podcast in that fake podcast room." Okay, child. Ugh. Someone said, Red said, "I skipped through their scene. I skipped their scene." Okay. Buy a blow up doll for real. If you're gonna go to the store, I would be like, here's some things I found for you. Okay. In the meantime, I worked out all day, because if you're tired, you're riding that electric bike, good for you. But right now, you need to go and lay down and get yourself some rest. Stop playing with this fool. Okay. I asked you guys in my Facebook group, did Dennis McKinley, Portia's ex, did he get that damn charity fight up so that he can beat Maurice's ass for the one time? We'd all like to know. Maurice doesn't have anything going on in his life. That is his excuse for when he cheats, child. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Kimmy actually had that conversation with her friend in the first part of the season. Like, listen, I know what he expects. I know what his what he needs, and I'm not able to do it, and I'm only doing it at this point to stop him from seeking it elsewhere. So anyway, it sounds trifling. It is trifling. This is the storyline that they are bringing to us this season. So okay, Kimmy, good for you. We'll see how this presents moving forward. Now let's talk about Courtney and Stormy. Let's see, where's Miss Stormy? Here we go. So Courtney and Stormy have a scene. They are at their warehouse. Uh, Stormy says, "Listen, I have caught up on a lot of the packing stuff. She's getting things out in a week turnaround now, as opposed to the amount of time it was taken before. She's feeling real good about herself, and they talk a little bit about that. And then she also talks about Tisha and Marceau. I guess Courtney tells her, I visited with Marceau. I just rolled up on him. I didn't even tell him I was coming. I rolled up on him and I let him know you need to keep your damn mind and energy on out of the women's business, basically. Get in the men's business for a change. Stay out the women's business, okay? So Courtney let her know that he told him that. They get a good laugh out of that. And then Stormy says, listen, I had the same conversation for the most part with his wife, who told me she didn't like how I addressed her husband. In the meantime, I peeped Tisha and Marcel at the expo whispering to each other and conjuring up the conversation where they asked me for damn it money. Okay, so it wasn't like it was just out of the blue. I saw it go down and I don't like it. I don't appreciate how she stepped to me. I don't appreciate how she stepped to me when we went to the dinner table and she said you needed to be more professional. All of that shit was wrong. And I let her know it. I loved every moment of that. I loved every moment of that because she's right. They did have that sidebar conversation. And I appreciated that they discussed it in the scene. But Stormy said at the end of the day, she's not going to play with Tisha like that or with Marceau. They both said it that way, kind of. Like, listen, you guys can do this stuff where y'all think y'all being cute or smarter than everybody else, and it's never going to happen with us. So that was cool. Then Stormy basically said that she saw Kiki on the news. She showed her husband a picture of Kiki on Crime Stoppers. They talked a little bit about it. And in confessional, Stormy said, I don't know what's true or false, but if it is true, I'm still going to support her because she has to be in a bad place. I'm going to use care with her is how she said it, because she must be in a bad place if this is what's going down. Bingo. Bingo. She said at the end of the day, I'm cool. So I really liked how that played out. You guys, 684 of you are watching, according to NOLA, 370 likes. Please get the likes up, please, and thank you. And then what else happened? Let me make sure that I said everything else. She also said that Kiki is innocent until proven guilty. So that was cool. And then let's see, the last scene, it was a really short scene. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the device I was looking at or if it was actually, what was playing out. But it kind of skipped some of the conversation. It started at one point and then it skipped. But basically, the whole scene was Melody shows up at Kiki's house for a visit. Kiki, she also brings Kiki a shirt that says "Push Through." Kiki lets her know that she had just got out of the hospital. She had some really bad back pain. And Melody gives a look like, "Oh, I'm hoping everything is okay," because we all know she has a past with the medication. She makes the comment that Kiki's wearing a shirt called Hot Mess Doing My Best because the conversation was so long between her and Kiki that Melody is just like, what is happening here? It was kind of funny the way she did that. And then Melody lets her know that she had a conversation with Tiffany, and Tiffany was worried about her brand and everything that is out there in the news about her, allegedly stealing from Home Depot. And that is how the scene ends, okay? And yes, again, I give it an 8 out of 10. I might even bump it up at this point. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. They did their thing for the very first episode. I really appreciate it. Everything that they had going on. I am about to pin this link because I want y'all to come up and talk to me. Let me know what y'all think about everything. Okay, here we go. Command V. And yeah, it was a good show, you guys. It was a good show. And I know y'all have plenty to say. So Right now, the link to join the panel has been pinned to the top of the page. If you are interested in coming up and sharing your thoughts on episode 16, you can do so because the chat has been jumping and I have not been able to get to everything because I was trying to share. But I really would like to hear what you guys have to say. Hopefully, this link is working for y'all. Yep, it appears to be working. Okay, red is up. Let me get y'all on the screen. Okay. Okay. Hey, girl.
Hello, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. I just
Good.
want to make a quick comment.
Okay.
Um, this whole thing with Kiki and Home Depot,
Uh-huh.
it's just not making any sense.
Okay.
It really isn't. I mean, going as far as to put it on the news,
Okay.
why didn't theft prevention hold her until the police got there?
So you're asking all legitimate questions we don't have the answers to. A lot of people have insinuated, okay, because Kiki has already said she can't talk about it because it's legal. A lot of people have insinuated that this was something. Oops, someone's making a little bit of noise. I have to hit y'all mics. Is everyone mic'd up?
I
Okay.
put mine on mute.
Nope. Okay. You can be okay. Hold on one second. I think it's okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're asking a lot of great questions. Okay, let's start there. You're asking a lot of great questions. What we've been told so far is that she can't talk about it. That it was insinuated that it was a setup by
Mm-hmm.
someone who knows Kiki. Now, I put the video on my page. She may have it on her IG page. I put it on my Facebook page. She went back into the Home Depot that she was allegedly, accused of stealing from. She was walking through. She was talking to, people that work there. She was in the locks department, so she let people know this is some BS. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right.
but we have to see how it plays itself out. And I'm happy that she was okay with it being on the show.
Right. And even more so, you want to, you have to start questioning, did the news station do their due diligence? Who sent the information to the news station? That type of thing. Because there's a lot of, like Kiki said, there's a lot of legality behind that. I mean, with
100%.
yeah, yeah, I would definitely, take that to the fullest, especially if I did not do it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. Kiki is making a huge splash for her first season on as a full, cast
Cast
member.
member.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I was like, what a way to go. She opens up the show with what was it called again? Innocent until proven
Proven
Kiki. I
Kiki.
love
Mhm.
whoever makes up the titles. They are really clever. I love them.
Right, right.
But
Well,
yeah,
thank you. Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
you, Red. Thank
Uh-huh.
you. Okay, bye bye. Hey, Maritha,
Hey,
how you doing, hun? Haven't heard from you in a while.
girl, it's been lifing. Life has been lifing,
Life has
you
been
know.
like
Yeah, but tonight was interesting.
tonight
You
was
rated what you rated it, and I don't know how I was feeling about this because I had mixed feelings with
uh-huh.
each season, and I am the type of person I don't kick a person when they're down. And I like to get the facts before I respond to something because
Uh-huh.
they say we all look alike, right?
Right.
But that conversation with Tiffany and Mel, um, it's to me that people like I've met people like Tiffany in my life. They stir the pot and they wait for you to they drop little little crumbs, and they want you to say something, and she kept saying the my our brand. Your brand ain't got nothing to do with Kiki. Kiki had absolutely nothing to do with your brand.
Most importantly,
He
she's on a television show where all kinds of messy things happen. That's reality.
is
Yeah.
so that's what is to be expected. And I wrote down. I said, Tiffany word about the wrong thing. Please, nobody don't take this the wrong way. When you get a certain age and you have a baby, you need all that energy for that baby because a lot of a lot was taken from her having that baby at the age that she is. And
And
and when she was
already
talking
having a predisposition or something like that, right? Oh, okay. And already
exactly,
being sick, correct?
so
Yep.
when she was talking to Mel, I'm looking at Mel's face. And what you were saying, I was thinking the same thing with Mel. It was like Mel said, "Girl, I ain't about to go here with you. I'm not about to go there with you about Kiki. I'm not going to say anything about Kiki. I'm going to see Kiki later. And if Kiki want to tell me what's going on, she will tell me what's going on. Yes, I watched the news. I done heard what everybody had to say. And it was like Mel was saying, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. And I'm glad Mel didn't give her the energy that she was looking for. Now with what is it? Maurice and
Kimmy?
Maurice Kent is yes, yeah, Maurice and Kimmy.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, I'm glad Kimmy is getting better. And I say this all the time. Kimmy knew what she was getting into when she married Maurice. The way you start with the man, that's the way you're going to have to continue. And so he's not honoring his marriage vows because in the vow it says in sickness and in health that you're going to be there for that person. It's not. It's like he just tap her on the shoulder, and long as his needs are being met, that is all. That's all that you know. That's all he worried about is his needs. So with Kimmy and Maurice, to me they are just people who feel a thing that they just fillers.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely nothing because they have the same storyline from the beginning to now. For 6 years they've been talking about the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and for them, I just and Martel. Now that was my favorite thing with Martel and Chris
Okay.
because
Why was it
and
your favorite?
that was my favorite because everybody's asking why Martel is being so quiet now because he know this show was coming back on and we were gonna see him for what we already know he was, but for the bum that we know that he is, and for the way that he treated Mel. Now we already knew who was the moneymaker in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know for sure who was the moneymaker in the family. This man, and just like Chris said, Martel was taking advantage of their friendship. You are living somewhere in a house for you leasing from month to month. So that means if I don't want to renew your lease for next month, you got to go. I don't care where you go. You can go to a hotel, you can go under the bridge, you can go under the boardwalk. I don't care. Now, if you love your kids as much as you say you love your children, why you taking them trips to Atlanta? Why you buying purses? Why you doing all this other kind of stuff? I know the, I know the cost of living is high. Apartments, houses are high, but you knew you had to find somewhere for you and your children to be when you have your children.
Mm-hmm.
So you supposed to be 8 months. 8 months. This man has given you to find somewhere to live. And just like somebody in the chat say, you got to leave here. You got to go. Just like in the club. You ain't got to go
You even
home,
say
but
you
you got
ain't gotta go home because you ain't got no home.
to pay exactly. So, and then, he was getting ready. You notice when Martel is arguing with a woman, how animated he is. But when
Yeah,
he was arguing with Chris, he was trying to hold. He didn't want to argue with Chris. He was trying to keep that at bay. But Chris was letting him know, business is business is business. This ain't about friendship. Cause I ain't like the way you did me and my wife getting us no subpoena.
you know what Chris said? Chris said, "You will never tell me how to do my business, baby. I don't.
I,
I'm successful. I have never missed a beat when it came to putting checks in my bank account. You are
is
the problem."
and that the part with Kimmy and Tisha, you know, Tisha is needy and Kimmy is feeding into her neediness. I don't know what Tiffany doing. What Tiffany doing is not taking people money, allegedly, in my opinion. What doing is not trying to please a man who cannot be pleased. That's
Yeah.
one thing we know she ain't doing. And Tiffany is out here writing $1 million, millions and millions of dollars grants. So we know Tiffany is doing something. So don't act like this woman is not doing something.
Mm-hmm.
What do actually do? And we know Kimmy was a nurse, but what are you actually doing but trying to go to Fredericks or Hollywood and every sex shop it is to please a man that you can't please? So
Well,
how I would rate this, it was interesting. I'm just gonna give it an interesting.
okay, you're gonna give
And I'm off, and I thank you for letting me come up because Colorado State and Colorado University is getting ready to play in
it.
prime time for my hometown. And
Okay,
number 6 just graduated from high school, and that's one of my daughter's friends' son. So
okay.
I got to go and watch this football game.
All
So I'm gonna
right.
say,
You.
everybody, good night.
I appreciate you,
Night.
Maurice. Good
Night,
night.
Mildred.
Okay. Let's see. We have Mildred. You are up.
Okay. Thanks for letting me come up.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you. Come on. What's going
Well,
on? What's your thoughts?
I will give it an 8. And I'm subtracting some points because I had to suffer through Maurice and Kimmy.
Okay.
I feel like we just don't need that. When I saw their scene, you remember that commercial when you bump your head and say, I could have had a V8? That's what I felt like. I
Yeah.
was I don't
Yeah.
even need that. I don't want to hear that anymore.
Okay.
Whatever. But the first scene with Tiffany and Mel was the best. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mel's faces are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
They're priceless. She says so much before she don't even open her mouth and she says something. And
Yep.
she wasn't getting into it. I like that Stormy was extremely supportive of Kiki. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. I
When I was
like that too. I like that she told the story, even
yeah,
giggled a little bit. She said, "At the end of the day, I'm not gonna play this as oh
yeah,
my God type of shit. It's
yeah.
gonna happen, and we need to support her where she is."
Yeah, she wasn't gonna kick her when she's down, and I thought that was commendable. I wish she would have extended Mel the same grace back, season ago, but that's okay. We live and we learn, and sometimes things happen.
Mhm.
I think they may find a way past it. I'm hoping they do. But the coup de grace, the best part of it was Mr. Fine Fletcher and,
Okay.
and Martel when
Okay.
he said, "You crazy as hell." That was so funny and
You
so
out of
authentic.
your goddamn mind is what
Yes,
it said. Are you
that
out
was
of
the
your
best.
goddamn mind? I said, "Holy crap!" But that's a real moment, and that's
That
what
was.
I liked about it. I said, "You know what?
That was.
We've been asking the men on the show to hold Martell accountable.
Yeah.
You can't be any more accountable than that. You have children, okay?
Yep.
4 and 1, okay? Excuse me.
Yeah.
I did everything I could. I put you in the house knowing you needed a
Mhm.
place to stay. I came to you and told you the house is going up for sale. I put you on a month to month lease. I
Yeah.
did all the steps. You dropped the ball.
And you can tell that they genuinely care for Mel and Martel.
I
You can
know. You
tell that
really
they do.
can.
Yeah, because they're an older couple, established. I think they kind of felt really invested in the two of them. So of course they didn't want to do any of that court mess and you know, and when somebody's getting a divorce, you do as a couple, like, who gets the friends? So I've been in that situation too. It's really hard.
It's hard.
And March, it's very hard. It's awkward. Yeah.
I
I've been,
have to say, I commend the production team
yes.
for allowing us to sense that,
Me
because we
too.
didn't get to sense that as much
Mm,
with Kimmy and Tisha and
nope.
the friendships, how the breakdown of the friendships happened. We got to see it
Uh,
in the aftermath with the Fletchers. In that moment, I'm grateful, and I think we'll see it even more with Nell in the coming episodes.
oh yeah, we saw. And
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of them because it's pretty interesting. But I think that Kimmy has to be really sore from always straddling the fence. She's got to be sore. She need to get off the fence. She's
Right.
always trying to take Tisha's side when they're wrong. Just don't do it. You
Every
know, I'm over her doing that. I know her last name is Scott, but she does not have to always go along with them when they're wrong. And then only take a stand if it's impacting her. That's not cool, and I don't like it. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'm taking off a little bit of points for that. I absolutely adore Kimmy. I think she's very accomplished. Sometimes I just think she dumbs herself down, and I don't like when she does that. But that's my take on it. I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes. I hope they're gonna get better because this one was pretty promising.
I agree. I agree. Thank you, Mildred. I
You're
appreciate
welcome. Thank you.
you for sharing.
I'm
Okay.
gonna drop down in case somebody else wants to come up.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I have Sharon next and then Ty. What's up, Miss Sharon?
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good. Long time no hear from.
A lot of things going on. What I like today, tonight's storyline was I like the fact that Tiffany will be what she's supposed to do in her show. Tiffany is doing her job. She is instigating. She, seeing what you're going to do and
They
all
had
that stuff.
to work some kind of way, right?
Yeah, yeah. You had to do. And people remember Dallas back in the day. Remember JR with the mean person, and then Pam Ewan with the innocent person,
Uh-huh.
and people got a little upset with that. But then she had to come on and say, "Well, in the
Uh-huh.
reality world, you must have evil and innocent mixed in there together."
That's
So Tiffany is doing her job. She
right.
instigating, and also the fact that Mel and those two were sitting there, were doing real girlfriend talking.
Yeah.
They were doing real girlfriend talk. You're like, oh, girl, I hear a rumor. Do you hear this rumor? Like us, and your friend, she can take the bait, or she can say, well, like Mel did. I'm gonna wait to see.
I'm gonna wait to
You
see.
know,
Right.
yeah.
I
So
agree.
that was there more realistic. That showed me more realistic the of the two females.
Yep.
Next was I like the fact that another one I like was the
Courtney.
uh, Courtney. No, they didn't even say his name.
Courtney
Courtney.
Martel.
Yeah, I like it. I like when he really put him to the fire. You know,
I like that.
and
Literally, this is what we've been asking for, and it really felt like it wasn't forced. It was,
yeah,
listen, I'm in your face because you came at my wife, and I want you to know
hmm
that you are, full of shit. Like I
hmm
appreciated it.
and that's the reality. That's real talk with man to man. Especially you been going to my wife, and especially Courtney knows he's gonna go with his faces. Don't want to deal with a man. So that shows. I like that. I like that. I love the fact that he took the money out and count the money. That was priceless. That's priceless.
That was the equivalent of stuffing money in your mouth.
Yeah. hmm And then the other one was I think um Mr. Fletcher did a great job with Martel. I
Uh-huh.
mean, they even how they broke it down of what he did for him and
Yep.
what Martel didn't do, and also it shows the history of Martel life. He been doing this the whole
Right.
time on the show. He never,
Right.
people give him all kind of you know opportunities and all kinds of stuff, and he took the ball at
He
the end of
did.
the day. And
Yep.
also like the fact that from last season, how from the first time we met the Fletchers together, at their house.
Uh-huh.
And then now I think people who've been watching the show longer, we see the dynamics of that whole friendship and how the Fletchers was affected by the divorce
Mhm.
and how Martell had abused it, their friendship, you know. Um,
That's
they,
important. I love that he immediately the scene starts out with him saying, we hate that he subpoenaed us. We are both of their friends. And then even
Mhm.
saying that, I was like, oh my God, I don't think we heard any of the friendships. I just don't remember any of that happening.
Mhm.
Like,
No,
they came in conflict already. So being able to hear someone who was a true friend say this was it hurt us and we don't want this breakdown to continue. You guys are
mhm.
divorced. This is some BS.
Yes,
I love that.
they were the only ones because looking back, watching Marcel and his wife and Maurice and his wife, they get egging on the thing. They didn't see they wasn't really sorry about their divorce, but the Fletchers did. You can tell that it's the history. Oh, you watch
There
the
was
show.
glee in their
Yeah,
divorce.
yeah.
That sometimes you could see the smirks and the smiles, and it was just like,
Hmm.
ooh, there's so much going on in these scenes.
Hmm.
But I just like that there was sincere. This is
Yes.
beautiful to watch, and like they said, like you guys said earlier. I think it may have been Mildred who said, "Listen, Chris and Nell were truly invested in seeing these two
Hmm.
people, stay a family.
Yes.
They
Hmm.
love them both. Like they want them to be okay outside of them. They're the older couple who want to guide these two to be okay. Melody's clearly being okay. It's not that she doesn't need support because we all need support no matter what. But Martel needs more, and Martel is taking advantage of people
Yes.
who may help him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then last one is I think when the Marcel want to be so much in charge, he want to be the big guy, but really don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. He want to do what Martel did. He want Martel's position, but knowing for well it was Melody who did it. And really he tried to make Tish do what Melody did, but Tish can't do it what Melody did.
Child, she show came.
And that's it. I'm not even bringing up the other two because we already
Okay.
know that you're in that situation. But good night, and I see you the rest of the time doing your thing. And
Okay.
I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna drop down and let other people come up.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I hope you come
Okay.
back again. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hey, Ty. I know you biting at the bit. Can you hear me?
Hey. Oh no, no,
Hey.
no, no. I
Uh,
was listening. I was listening. I like everybody um, commentary. That was pretty good. I
okay.
like all that.
What's
Um
your thoughts?
I'm sorry.
I said, what's your thoughts?
Oh, well, when I said the Kimmy and Letitia scene was whack, what I meant, well, in jest it was, but however, I just didn't understand. First of all, Tisha with that shitty ass charcuterie board, that was horrible. I don't know what she was doing. Uh, Another thing Tisha said, when she said, "I'm gonna have to pray on it," I said, "Girl, when have you ever said I'm gonna have to pray on it?" I've never heard Tisha say I'm gonna have to pray on it.
First season, Tisha told Melody that they needed to pray before they started the meeting. Remember, they got into an argument, and Tisha came in and said, I will walk out of this damn meeting if y'all
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
definitely remember
And
that.
we never
But
heard her say anything about prayer again after that.
what
That's
I'm saying is, Melody always say, "I'm gonna pray on
Yep.
it," right?
Right.
So that's what I was kind of saying. However, did you see how Maurice was playing like he was looking at Kimmy attentively when she was talking? He
Yeah.
really was not paying attention. He was just ready to respond.
I I don't know if Maurice has ever thought about this before about how uncomfortable his unknowing is about his demands for sex. Like, I think he really thought that that was normal. And I think that Kimmy is okay with this shit being sputtered across TV and everything else because she wants him to get it, to be honest. Like, I can't deal with it. So I'm just going to let the public. tell you what's what because I can
You
care less at this point.
do you think?
Only do what she can do.
Wait a minute. Do you really think he's unknowingly? This lawyer is unknowingly knowing that he's an a-hole.
I don't think he believes he's an a-hole at all. No,
And I don't think he's a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he believes that. I don't think he believes it at all. I think that I just don't. He has such a cockiness about him that he somebody told him from the time he was born that his shit does not stink, and he believes it every second of every
You
day.
know what happened when he was in that fraternity? They was acting wild, so he took that with him outside.
Ugh.
That's what happened. Um, Kimmy was so disgusted with Maurice. You could tell. I don't care how calm she might try to act or whatever. Them little ticks, them instinct, them interest. What it is, them inner ticks. You could tell that she has a issue with has a big issues with some of the things that Maurice be saying, like his comebacks, his snapbacks, or anything. Like she kept saying, "See that right there? You know, you keep saying stuff like that."
When they were on Fox Soul, we saw that. I mean, at this point, I honestly feel like Kimmy is just like, I've done all I can, and I'm just gonna let the world take us where we're gonna go next because this would kill anybody else, to be honest.
I'm not going. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna just sit back. If that's what she want to do, that's all on her. You know, I feel like Kimmy the snake anyway. So I'm not gonna be too invested in their stuff. But let's get to the meat and potatoes, baby.
Okay,
Let's talk about
Martell.
Martel and Mr. Fletcher, baby. Let me tell you something. All
Yes,
that stunting and profiling and shining and shit you was doing all across the internet with Sheree and going over here and trying. You should have been looking for a house for you and your kids, sir.
Come on
I
now.
want you to think that he
Come
bought
on.
a $2,000-3,000 purse, but didn't get a place for his kids to stay. All of that is off. All of it.
That's off
Come
kilter.
on now.
So
There you go.
what you doing out here is not matching what you saying.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's really imperative that he get a house because you know if he don't have no house for them kids to stay, they going back to court.
Is he still homeless?
He
He'll
might
run
still be
back to
homeless.
mama.
Him and Destiny are really friends. They were squatting in somebody else's house. That's a shame.
Crazy. Crazy. He said he was building a house. He did reference whatever this home he's building in the scene, I think. But either way, he still knew. It's like, how irresponsible are you? The fact that we get to see in real time for the most part, they're filming 2 seasons a year, but we're seeing this kind of in real time. You're taking your ex to court saying that you don't trust who she has them around, and then at the same time we get to see who you have the kids around and see that she is a problem, period.
Right.
And
Right.
also, um you talking about safety and concern, and you just want them to be blah. You didn't figure out how to get them into another place. Your children,
Mm-hmm.
like all
Right.
of those things, is just amazing to me.
Now let somebody else call him a good dad again.
Mm,
Let
Uh,
mm,
somebody call
mm.
him a good dad again. He
yes.
can't even hold a house. Why he can't go stay with his mama?
Well, that's where he gonna run back to.
Well, we gonna see, child. Did he say him and his mama don't get along that much unless he's breaking her off a coin? That's what he said. That their relationship is transactional. I believe that
Yeah.
was at the beginning of fourth season. At the
I
Hmm.
think this
beginning
season,
of
I paid
the
attention.
last season, he said their relationship is transactional. But
Well, she know he got to get the reunion money.
Reunion money?
The
well,
reunion, they get paid, don't they? Like Real Housewives of Atlanta, don't they get paid different for the reunion?
Oh, I don't
oh,
know.
I don't
You
know.
know we dealing with Carlos, baby. I don't know. But
I,
let me tell you, I
they
just
get
want to say,
paid by own. That's what they said. That Carlos doesn't pay them. Own pays them.
okay, I want to say one last thing.
Yes.
I like the way tonight it was sort of cohesive, right? Everybody had their own segment, like they in their own stuff without, besides Melanie going visit, you know, Kiki, Tiffany, and the little different visits. However, everybody was in their own setting, talking about their own stuff, right? So that
Yes.
was cool. They're not piled up. But I also noticed this how I feel. It's gonna be a come at muscle season, right? Probably muscle and a little bit of Tisha. Everybody gonna like try to gang up on them. But I think this is just only my imagination. I think Marcel said, yeah, they can come out. Had a conversation with the producers. Yeah, they can come out. I don't care. I know how to handle it. That's why he was so
Oh,
flip at that mouth with Courtney.
oh.
But that's what I think. But that's it.
We
I'm
gonna
going
see.
back downstairs.
Episode 16, I think we got 15
Yeah.
episodes. So we got 14 left. We are going to see how this plays out. I appreciate you for coming up. It was really nice talking to you because I haven't heard from you in so long. So thank you for coming up again.
No
And let's
problem.
talk to Miss LaDawn. Hey, LaDawn.
Hey,
Hey,
LaDon.
hey, Ty. Hi, Reddy and Diana. You are
Hey,
so
LaDorn.
beautiful. I don't feel good, so my voice, is a little messed up because I'm a little sicky. But
I hope you
I'm
feel
not gonna I'm not gonna rate the
episode.
episode because um I'm just gonna, take it as it comes as long as nobody's jumping or trying to, come up with a plan against Mel. I'm good, But what I will say about the episode is um it it was refreshing that the first episode that everybody was really into their own thing. But what I don't like,
Different energy for sure.
right, but what I don't like is I understand. I guess that was the right person to pick actually, Tiffany, because in my opinion, Tiffany has like a detachment issue. Like, and in my opinion, I might be saying a word wrong, but she, um, to me, can turn her feelings off real quick and detach.
Mhm.
Like she, is emotionalist kind of. Like she looks like to me she don't really have feelings unless somebody personally attacks her.
Okay.
And I say that because um she seems a little cold hearted to me.
So Red is saying abandonment issues. Is that what you're referring
Yes.
to? Okay.
And I think because of that, it made her, in my opinion, it made her, really not be able to care about other people genuinely,
Okay.
to me, because she seems every time she does something, it's really in a cold manner. It's
Okay.
not like just simple shade or bringing up something. Because when she was talking about um that girl Kiki,
Hmm.
and she mentioned her son and saying what kind of mother would bring her child to do something like that. Her facial expression was like she smelt something stank, like, oh, like what kind of, like she was so cold with it, like she knew for a fact, like she want people to believe her that this is real, that she did it and she dragged her son into it and told her son to shoplift. And I think that's like just so cold. She just didn't stop. She just was really laying it on thick. And for her to try to manipulate Mel, she should have knew better when she said, "Didn't you say you don't want certain people with your brand?" Like she's always trying to twist it like that.
She does that all the time.
Yes, she does.
She'll bring someone else's words in and say, "Didn't isn't this what you said? Like
Mhm.
you can
Mhm.
get on board with this?"
Yep. But
Every
see where she mess. Yep. But where she messes up is you may look out of your eyes and view a person a certain way, and I might look out my eyes and view a person a certain way. And for my standards, this might be all right, or for yours, it may not. So don't pick who you think I should have in my circle.
right.
That's gonna
I
make my
forgot.
brand look
It
bad.
was alleged that Tiffany was the one who sent the video to a blogger.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at, how
Oh,
evil and
sorry about
cold
that. Okay.
she is.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think her real beef with Kiki is the simple fact that Kiki's son is really good in his sport, and it was like you know how that rivalry baseball team parent stuff go,
Yeah.
because here in Massachusetts somebody unalived another parent during a hockey game. You know what I mean? So I think Tiffany has that catty, the president's wife type of woman attitude, and I just think Tiffany's real evil. you
Okay.
know I don't dislike her. I think she's good for the show.
Uh-huh.
I definitely think she's good for the show.
Okay.
But I don't hold no substance with her. It's just like you're there for that because you're just really that evil to carry that on and really do it well. She
Right.
really does it well.
Right. Right.
Um, Tisha and Marceau are is I agree with Ty and Reddy and trying to be the hotel and Mel.
Okay.
But the only difference is their brains or the look don't amount to that.
Right.
Instead, they should be focusing on trying to make their own path and be who they are,
Right.
but they're still in this competition stage with people who are separated and going different ways and going on with their lives, and you're still in competition with their marriage and what they built. you
Right.
know
Right.
Everybody ain't boss material.
Right.
Everybody ain't a supervisor. Everybody ain't a shift leader. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And Marceau has showed over and time again that you are not a leader. You crack down every time you have the microphone. Nothing comes out but gibberish.
Right. Right.
So it's like you're making yourself look like a fool. And the reason why you don't care what people say about you and your brother is both of them think the same way, is because you guys are, in my opinion, egotistical jerks and think y'all know everything. You think you got it all figured out. You think you know better than everybody else. And you think you're slicker than everybody else because you got the people around you thinking that. But in the real world, other people would have ate you up a long time ago.
He has an interesting personality.
Yes, so I think that's why he's willing to take it, because this is any attention is good attention to him. He's like, the strippers nowadays. Any attention is good attention.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I
he loves it because they never got it before.
right.
And Martel and Kimmy's husband,
Yeah.
Maurice, he's so forgettable that I always forget his name. Maurice,
The
he's
least interesting on the show.
yeah, and he was like that in college, and that's why he got the sloppy seconds in college. And now that he done got down to his size or whatever, he is now trying to relive some stuff, and he's getting out of hand with it, and it's at the expense of Kimmy. And what makes me mad about Kimmy is she looks like she's an idiot. She don't look like she's really pissed because she cracks a joke afterwards. I feel like if something really bothers you, life and death to this magnitude, your response will be uncontrollable because you're just, when somebody keeps chipping at you, right? There's an explosion point. This is how many seasons, how many interviews, how many times he done came out his mouth where me or somebody else would have probably popped off a
Right.
long time ago.
Right.
She
Right.
laughs it off. She may not care that the public is going to attack him because he already has that attitude. I don't care. That's how I feel, with his smirk.
Right.
So
Right.
he can take that because he don't care. So she's willing to allow that to keep happening, but she's not giving him to us to do that. She really is a weak woman, and she really is trying to convince him that, or hope that he don't step outside the marriage because of the things that they're going through, and she's trying to hold on to this younger man, in my opinion.
She's definitely trying
I
to hold.
agree.
He definitely came across. I mean, he was just completely insensitive to everything. She literally just wrapped up chemo and radiation. He knows the toll that would have taken her down mentally, emotionally, physically. For that to be his only thought, like
Mm-hmm.
take care of me, it's such a foul way. I would
Mm-hmm.
put that out there in the public as the father of a son. Like,
Mm.
there's some shit you just don't do.
Mm.
That's it. Okay.
Mm. It's
Ugh,
disgusting.
nasty.
And he continues to do this. And
Yeah.
she just like, my man, my husband. You'll see. Oh, stop it.
It's foul. It's foul. It's foul. That's it.
And
And
and another thing, the reason why he take her as a joke, because she says a lot of things, but there's no action behind it. It's no consequence. If I tell my man, if you call me that one more time, this is what's gonna happen. And he called me that, and I don't do nothing about it. I said, see, okay, watch next time. He gonna say, okay, yup, shit just blowing smoke. But if I pack my bags and do what I said I was gonna do and give him a minute to think about it, he's gonna say, you know what, I better not try that again, because the next time she might not really come back. You know what I mean? It's
correct.
throw it out there, and if there's a consequence, you got to follow through with that consequence. Other than that, you're just hot air. You'll get over it. You're just a joke to them.
Right. You're right, child. Everything you said was accurate. Yeah, it's a lot to watch. It's a lot to watch. I want to just see again when I've always felt like, because she's gone through such a traumatic thing, to be on the other side of it and to also be with someone who's still so low vibrational and they're thinking when you're trying to be lift yourself up. It's too much. The clash
Yeah,
is too much.
yeah,
I honestly, so I
yeah.
don't know. I'm not wishing bad for anybody. I'm not wishing anyone's relationship in. They got to go through the journey God has set forth for them.
Mhm.
But it is hard to watch. I'll
Yeah,
say.
I ain't trying to tell nobody what to do with their relationship, but I am wondering why it's taking so long and who could stand something like this. I'm sorry. That's coming out of my mouth. Like,
Okay.
oh, you ain't done yet? Like, really? Like, girl.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
sorry.
It's low vibrational. All I
Big
mean,
time.
and when you are coming off of a sickness, if anybody who's been sick, I don't give a damn if you have a cold. When you are around things that make you feel like the energy is low, you feel worse.
Mm.
Feel worse. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's all. Anywho, I interrupt you. Anything else you'd like to say?
Well, that's all I got to say about them.
Okay.
I am happy that Courtney stood up to and checked Marceau, and I see some other scenes coming up that he's going to continue to do that, and I'm happy because they need to be checked. They need to check each other. They need to be accountable, and nothing for nothing. He needs to cut it out. I'm
Correct.
not saying, oh my God, men can't say nothing to women, but I feel like when you have a wife and y'all are in business together, that's how you do it. You know what I mean? And I just think it's not even about business. It just, he feels like he can do what he wants to do when he want to do it, but you can't do it to him.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
better not come to my wife, but yeah, I can come to
He's the
yours.
king of the double standard.
Oh
Period.
God. All
Yeah.
right, let me let cinnamon go.
All right. I'm gonna let you close us out. How are you? And welcome back. I appreciate you coming up.
Hi,
Hi, Cinnamon.
good evening. How are you?
Great, great. What are your
Good.
thoughts on the episode? Do you rate it?
Um, uh, I'm gonna give it an 8.
8? Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
high. That's
Yeah,
good.
I really did enjoy the show. I'm just so glad to see that it's not every scene is about male, male, male. I'm
It was
so glad. Yeah,
good
yeah,
variety
yes,
conversation.
yes. I'm so happy to see. more of everybody else's life other than piling on her. So I gave it an 8 for that reason.
Okay.
The first scene with Mel and Tiffany. First of all, I want to say that Ace is cute as a button. He is so handsome.
He
That
is.
is a cute baby. He really is cute. He
Yeah,
really is cute.
Yes, he is.
He is a doll. He really is.
he is.
Um, Tiffany, laying it on with KeKe again. She
Mm.
got some kind of she got it hot for KeKe for some reason. And I just love how Mel was looking at her like, girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere with this nonsense, just
He
pretty much
really
like
does.
uh Huntsville is now I've been to Huntsville once. My
Okay.
godfather actually lived there before he passed away for a short time. So I went down there to visit him. This was about maybe 15 years ago. When I
Uh-huh.
said I couldn't wait to get out of that place, I was like, oh my God, this is
Right.
nothing. It was it's so small.
Right.
Um so Huntsville is so small. So if they were looking for Kiki, they could have found her easily. So
That's what she said.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that storyline, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. I think some people might be in trouble behind that.
Ooh.
I know Kiki said, she couldn't talk about it. There's I guess, a lawsuit pending, and I hope so because that's serious business. Now you talk about trying to ruin somebody's reputation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That is real serious
Good.
business. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. But Tiffany is so messy, and she deflects from her own life. I think she has a lot of issues in her marriage and her life within herself.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of dealing with herself, she wants to pile on other people. So
Mm-hmm.
I think she needs to focus on her own life and leave Kiki alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
then this scene with Tisha and Kimmy, I just rolled my eyes. I was like, you know what? I can't stand the two of them together anymore. I'm so done with
Really?
these two. Kimmy goes along with everything that Tisha says. They got
Hmm.
her straight a few years ago, and she will not disagree with Tisha at all. And it's so sad to see the state that they have her in, where she agrees with everything that dumbass Tisha does. Because Tisha, for her to be so educated, she's a dummy. So, but I
And
just
the way
was
she's
rolling
taking
my
the
eyes.
conversation back to her husband in a different way. Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see how
this
that. I want to see how that plays out because she was doing that in the first half of the season too, hearing them say one thing and then having a different conversation with Maurice, and then Tisha and Marceau were saying something like they're acting more like Holtz and not like Scott.
yeah.
So I want to see how this plays out for the second half for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait to see that either. And
yeah.
then I'm so glad that Courtney checked Marceau. Marceau looked like he was surprised when he saw Courtney walk in the door, and I think he was kind of nervous as to what Courtney was going to do or say.
Uh huh.
Um, but he's got a real slick mouth, and somebody needs to punch him in it one day. One of the men need to really. I think that because Courtney has some
What's
weight on him, just like Marceau does. I don't
what's
think Marceau
his
wants to
husband's
mess with
name? I mean,
Courtney.
I mean, what's Kiki's husband's name? Is it Amin?
Something like that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think so.
Bar, the way he like walked up on Marceau when they are like in that little tussle when the water gets thrown, and did y'all see how he like stormed up like I'm about to whoop Marceau's?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marceau's gonna have
Mm-hmm.
some altercations this season. Clearly, um, that makes that's gonna turn some things around because the boys' club between Maurice and Martel, that ain't it.
Right.
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Go
Absolutely.
ahead.
And Kimmy and Maurice. In my opinion, I believe that marriage is over. If he is really that sex driven, their marriage is going to be over. This woman is between 52 and 54 now. So not only is she coming off of chemo, and I've seen firsthand with family members what it does to your body, she's going probably through menopause. Maurice could forget about that old Kimmy. And I know it's sad because they say what you did to get him, you're gonna have to do to keep him. But I think that
This
Kimmy is
was a word.
gone.
You just said a word. You can forget
Yeah.
about the old Kimmy. There ain't nothing gonna take her back there. She's done. It's
Mm-mm.
gone. It was buried. Whether
Right.
she wanted it to be or not, she's never gonna be able to go back to that person.
She will not. She's getting
Period.
older. And our bodies change when we go through menopause. And if she's not there, she's real close to it. And the chemo may have put her into menopause. Because of the
Period.
side effects. So, if their relationship was strongly built on that, they're gonna have a hard time because it doesn't seem as though he's growing older with her. You know what I mean? It's like he wants to be 30, be like a rabbit all day or every day, on
Yeah,
her. So,
doing the no pee
um,
3 times a day. She ain't doing it
right,
2 3 times a week. Okay.
exactly, exactly. And the fact that he doesn't seem to want to understand what she just went through and that it will take time. But when she gets back to her normal, it's not going to be the old Kimmy. It's just not going to happen. She's aged. Her
Yeah.
body has aged and her body has changed. And, it's a fact of life for all us women. We go through that. So
Right.
Did
I
Right.
you
feel
say he was
bad.
30 something years old?
Child, no, he's in his 40s.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in his 40s. I think isn't it like 10 years between the two?
Yeah.
I think it's like 10 years. So, and
Yeah.
that can be a lot, especially when, the woman is in her 50s. So, I don't think they're ever going to get back to where she used to be. So, good luck on that one.
So
But,
someone in the comments said they are 57. Said I'm 57, postmenopausal, and still wanting it like I did in my 20s. Everybody ain't the same. Well, she didn't
that's
want it
true.
like that before the treatments. It sounds like just an FYI. She didn't want it like that before then. She had a hard time keeping up, and now she's gone through something really heavy on her body. So
I'm
Yes,
going through menopause
absolutely.
now and I don't got the urge at all. See, I'm the opposite. I don't got the
and
urge.
and everybody is different. I'm 60 and I'm fine, a couple times a week. But the key difference is that Kimmy has gone through chemo, and if you don't know anyone personally who's gone through it, it will take your body almost 2 years to get back to normal. So
and
she
she
has to
already
get back to
said she
normal.
doesn't have a sex
Right.
drive at all. At all.
Exactly, exactly. And then when she gets back to normal, she then has to deal with the fact that she might be going through menopause, which is something different. So I understand what the woman is saying, but you have to add the chemo factor to what Kimmy is going through, which makes it 10 times worse than a normal woman going through menopause. So
Right.
that
Correct.
that that
Correct.
storyline, I don't know what's going to happen between them, but it was a good episode. I look forward to seeing more. I'm so glad that we are seeing more of everybody's life other than the same old pile on mail. I'm so glad I didn't get no one else said her name. It was very refreshing.
You're
And
right.
one more, it was very refreshing. And then Martel,
Yeah.
Martel, just give your children back to their mom. They have a home with their mom. Don't worry about it, bruh. We know you can't afford anything. You
A
just go ahead and
home you tried to snatch is a home they will stay, okay?
yes, go on with your little bird and your family over there, and let them children be with their mom and live a good life because they live a good life with their mom. And I have just seen them little kids travel with their mom recently. They are growing. They are traveling with their mom. They look so happy. Let them children be with their mother and leave those kids alone
Y'all
because
know the whole, I want my kids, I want first rights.
Mm, mm,
Melody's
mm.
had them kids.
yeah,
Listen, never, haven't seen her not have the kids. You know what I'm saying?
I
yep,
can't believe he
yep,
didn't have no
Respectful.
shame. He was
yeah,
groveling. He didn't have no shame. He was a
none.
bitch begging. Like, oh, I ain't got no way. It's like you should be ashamed of yourself. That's why he
Hmm.
couldn't pay for that dinner.
You
That's
just
Shirley
gotta
why he had to
birthday
throw
understand
dinner.
every woman.
And that's
Yeah.
why he had to throw his kids in there, because Chris was like, man, come on now. So he thought well, let me throw my kids in there. Maybe I'll get some sympathy from him in the audience. Mister, them kids are fine. And another thing, just to see little sugar mama going through the airport, I said, look at that baby girl. I know I think she'll be 4 in December, but she is just growing up, and she's so sweet and such an angel. But just to
They're
see those kids with their mom traveling, it brought joy to
Yes,
my
it's
heart.
amazing. It's good for them to have that experience and see
Yeah.
mama doing her thing. So,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
yes, I agree, you guys. I absolutely agree. Okay, if we're all done, I'm gonna close it out because we almost been on for 2 hours. But y'all have been amazing. It was a great show. I'm hoping they keep it up. It really did have a different feel. Kudos to the
Yeah.
cast. Congratulations to Carlos King and Melody. They look like they, had a little bit of a bond over the weekend because Carlos got that Sheen Award or whatever. And
Hmm.
posted pictures of each other on each other's IG pages. So good for them. And I'm just hoping that we get to see positivity and light. Okay. We'll see what
Right.
happens next because I know there's a whole lot of stuff going on, but let's hope we see some more positivity and light and that people can enjoy the show for the show. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
outside of that, y'all are always amazing to me. I appreciate every single one of you for coming up on the panel and giving your opinions. I appreciate everybody's opinion, okay? Y'all always bring a great perspective, a different perspective. Thank you to everyone in the chat, okay? Thank you to all of my moderators for keeping things going. And thank you to those who donated and became members. I love you too. And we're going to keep this thing rocking and rolling. We got a whole lot of shows coming out, some different ones. Married to Medicine, I think Potomac is also coming out. I love all of those shows. We're going to talk about all of them, okay? I did not get an opportunity to talk about Detroit the way I wanted to because I really wanted to get a feel for the cast before I started talking about them. But I have enough information now so that when they come on for the next half of their season, I will love to start doing their reviews. And then who else? Of course, we're waiting for DC to come back. So I can't wait to get started with that. Mwah, to all of y'all, thank y'all always for joining me. Hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell on your way out. And I will see y'all on the next one.